kind of like the leader of the Queen's Guard. Well, we don't have a Queen's Guard, and maybe in future versions of this show we would have guards. Command. Okay. Private. You'll get one too, Shelley. Don't worry. Private Brass is kind of the collective guard. Though the two of you do work together a lot on that. You're kind of making place of what would be an army in the entire palace without needing to show an entire army of people on stage. So you guys have big characters. Brass, however, when Fea leaves, starts to realize how terrible things really are in the palace, and he makes a changeover, and he ends up joining the rebel army, which they're not quite excited to take him right away. They don't trust him right away. And then Lab, you round out the inner circle. Lab is probably the creepiest character in the show.
Understatement.
The thing that's really cool about being Lab is that you don't have to be like a joyful, happy, like, oh, here we go. You're like, oh, how interesting. They dropped dead when they took the serum. You know what I mean? Lab helps the Queen kill people in mass quantities, enjoys it, and finds it to be a scientific pursuit. Professor Lab helps murder people, and it's really, really dark. I was doing this scene, there's a scene in Act 2 where Lab is testing out some injections on test subjects, which some of you will be playing. And it's really dark, and my lighting guy, Mike, often will focus on the lights and the vision, and then after a couple of days, he'll finally just watch the show and see what the story is. And we got up to that scene where Lab was testing out, Lab being Robert, and Robert's like injecting faceless objects with poisons. And Mike looks at me, he goes, "You are one twisted SOB." And I was like, what? I wanted the audience to feel something. So you help twist things a little bit. And I don't necessarily want you to take the same direction Robert took it in. We'll all have the chance to play with it in the same vein. You don't take your direction the same as Tyler took it. We have elements of those original characters, but we're going to change them up a little bit. All four of you, really. The essence is there, but you get to play with it. I'm going to have you guys back up. Palace charges. Come on in. I'm missing quite a few of you today.
Please don't tell me it's just me. Oh no.
No, that's not. Latia, get in here, girl.
Please don't tell me
it's not just you.
Okay.
I have my list.
It is
It's sad that it's not memorized, but it's just not.
Prophet Latia, Corey, Tina.
Yeah, where is Corey today? Tina's out of town.
Thank you.
It's like a Bible.
It's got an elephant.
Everything.
Guys, this is, like I said, this is our swing day. Like, I'll forgive anyone who didn't show up, but when people start to just not be here, they will get strikes, and it will happen to you too if you just don't show up. I will not be pleased for like 30 seconds, and I'll get over it and move on. And so, moving on, Palace charges. You guys are a part of another group, but you're able to do a little bit more, like, work, as it were. You'll be in kind of more scenes, like there's a party scene, the kids aren't really invited to that, so you guys get to be dragged into a party that maybe, we'll decide when we get there, but maybe you don't really care to be there. You know, like, you're partying because you have to. You're not partying because you want to let loose and have a great time. Like, you have no choice. Like, you're a pawn in this whole thing. As we go through the rest of the show, you'll take on some other roles. So we will definitely have costume changes and makeup changes so you don't look anything like your original self. Yes. But the Palace charges, you're just there to take care of the Queen. And as far as specific work goes, we don't necessarily tell the audience, oh, this person folds her laundry, this person cooks the meals. We don't go over those things, but you can think of your own motivations. If you're like, well, maybe I'm the one who scrubs blood off the floor after someone's head is chopped off. You know, something like that. But, you know, whatever you have to do to create someone, we will definitely be discussing that, because I think that is interesting. You guys will stay there. Lower interns. Haley, Alyssa, Molly. Okay, you guys are in May's age category, okay? So you're almost allowed to do real jobs, and you're kind of excited about it, but I still want you to remember, while we may have innocent and naive moments, you're still in a really serious setting. You know, the world is not a pretty place. It's not green, everything's just dusty and dark and gray, and you're being brought up in this. So while you've been raised off the floor of being a little slave, and you maybe get fed a little bit more food than you did before, I want you to remember that, like, you can be hopeful about your future, but don't get too hopeful, because it's not going to be good. I don't know if any of you get murdered. Haven't decided. Slave children, get out there.
Hello,
Yes.
little slave.
You guys, I haven't decided because I don't want you to hurt you, but you're probably going to be like barefoot. You are going to be kind of dirty. This is not going to be a pretty role. It's going to be sad. You're here to help set a tone. And I think that's really important for you to know that even if you don't get to wear sparkles in the show, you're going to make people feel something because you're helping set a mood. Do you know what I mean by that? Like, if you're kind of sad on stage, the audience is going to feel sad for you. And they're going to be like, oh my God, the kids don't even get shoes? They're going to be like, oh my God, they're so dirty. Why don't they get washed? Because the queen doesn't allow time for that. The queen doesn't allow baths.
The queen is mean. They work in the mine. No
Mean
baths.
person.
Don't worry too much though. You get one fun scene where maybe Faya and General Lee are feeding you some food outside, and you get to skip around and be like, oh my God, I was so hungry, but now I got a second meal today. Can you imagine not getting more than one meal? That's sad. And that's reality in this show. I'm going to have you guys sit back. Bishop Monten.
There are children.
They're all messages.
There are children.
Okay.
I am not fast.
Bishop Monten is
Sit in Spanish, so I can understand.
It's Japanese, so I don't know how to translate it. Bishop Monten, so when I was studying up for this show, you guys, I'm not any expert on Japanese lore, but there are bits and pieces of it, okay? So for those of you who know more about it than me, I know Kate knows a lot about it, Latia, you went to Japan, please don't be offended, it's all artistic liberties. Bishamonten is the god of fortunate warriors and the punisher of criminals, okay? He is the only god we have in this show. He's the only deity we choose to have. So, because of that, he carries people away to heaven. And we're going to do some fun lighting with that. Mary's got some cool ideas. No, he smites the queen and leaves her there to rot. It's okay to laugh.
She deserves it.
It's true, she does, she deserves it. So Bishamonten is not seen by anybody. Hi, Corey.
I'm so sorry I'm late.
I was wondering where you were, girl.
I'm so sorry.
It's
It will
for-
never happen again.
Okay, cool. Forgiveness weekend, right?
Yes.
Bishamonten is only seen by the priestess, Rennie, who is out of state right now. She communicates with him because she's kind of, the go-between, really. People can talk to the priestess can talk to the god, but no one will see Bishamonten. So if he is on stage and you're not dead, you're frozen and you don't see him. You can't look in his direction. If you're dead, you can completely see him. You're welcome. Okay, so I would put the priestess out there, but she's not here. So let's put the monks out there. Monks. Sadie, Kaylee, Brianna, Kaylee, Alyssa, Molly. Yeah, you stay. You guys, go out there, girl.
Oh, that's not a bottle.
Oh,
come on.
No. You guys don't necessarily see Bishamonten, but you're one of his followers, and you work in the palace. I'm sorry, you work in the temple, and you're not going to be yourselves. We're probably going to give you masks so people can't see that you're slave children and lower interns. But you dance with Bishamonten, and you dance with the priestess, and you kind of set a tone of respect. Any of you who go to church, you know how respectful it can be, and you close your eyes for prayers. It's that same feeling, even though this isn't a real God, it's just a character. So I want that to be the mood.
Just in case they don't respect me.
Bishamonten does not have a staff.
Just in case.
Okay, guys, clear out.
So if when we're dancing, we can't see him, or
We'll play with it. We'll play with it, but probably not.
They're gonna have a mask.
Obake, which is Michaela. This was originally one larger dance, and quite a few of you guys were in it.
I was in the room.
Wait, raise your hand, Eliza, Prophet. So 3 of you were in that dance. And the thing that was cool about that dance was that you guys were glowing and you were lit up, and there was a hip hop feel. And the
I had to duct tape my lights to my stomach.
yeah, that was.
We didn't have like any tape, we just had duct tape.
There's a good chance that we're gonna maybe use some paint or well, but whatever we decide, you're gonna have to be able to either cover it up or change out of it. FYI. That piece closes Act 1, so you'll have time in Act 2. So like for instance, maybe you'll do a full face of makeup but wear a mask, like a day glow kind of mask of some kind. Obake are Japanese spirits of the dead.
When you Google Obake, it comes up with this umbrella ghost. It's
Really?
a ghost that's an umbrella.
Because
Because Obake means to, it's like a chain.
umbrella.
Yeah.
Yeah. Umbrella.
I didn't catch that. But the reason why I have this spirit in the show is because I like that element of magic, which is why I have like priestess and gods, and a little bit of magic brings up the mood for such a dismal place. And the Obake are or I don't know if there's like a plural or singular at this point, but Obake, that spirit is something that Lee and Fea encounter in their travels, okay? And it's just kind of like a fun moment for them. And it doesn't have to be multiple characters. It can be portrayed with one. And it's really just my nod to like Totoro type sprite and spirits that I love so much. And I just like that little bit of fantasy. So out you go.
A lot of people
Actually,
said that was their
JK,
favorite.
stay in. The next character being Gosuto. Michaela's going to be Gosuto in Act 2. This was played by Beth originally. Gosuto bartends, and this is one of the first people that Lee and Fea grabbed to join the army, and then the trio kind of travel along looking for more rebels, okay? Because you are rebels. And you guys, we're going to take it a little bit out of the Charlie's Angels feel that we originally had and make it even tougher and more, you know, a little hardcore. Keep in mind that as the rebel army builds, I may pull some of you who are palace charges to play rebels, maybe as yourself or maybe as a different character, but you might join that army. Stay there. Waste punks, Corey, Tina, Prophet. You guys are seen at the bar where Gosuto works, and I kind of got this vision from Cantina Night from Star Wars, really. Like, everyone's kind of like hanging out at the bar and they're really like hardcore, like tough people. Like, I'm not a huge Star Wars fan in that I don't know a lot about it, but I've seen it and I get pictures from it that I really like, and there's a lot of visuals that I like, and this is one of them. It's not as crowded of a place, but it has that feel of like, oh, you're not from around here, are you? Like, it has that feel. And what's that?
Do I get to mix drinks?
Probably.
You're a bartender, what else are you doing? What else would you do?
Lee
You
and
don't get to drink
Fea
them now.
Be girly girls.
come along, and you guys aren't too happy about it, and a big fight breaks out. You're gonna help me with that fight so no one gets hurt. That looks like they do.
Actually gonna punch someone.
Yeah.
Out you go. Resilient warriors and the town of oppression are vivid motion dancers. We're gonna figure that out as we go along, because some of them are gonna be doing Port Fringe Festival, and pretty soon though we're gonna pick some and we'll have a core group of dancers who will be rehearsing with us more, and then the rest of the group that's in the show will be with us during Hell Week. Sorceress. Come on out, Lydia. Sorceress is another little bit of magic in this show. She's an assassin hired by the queen, and she goes to murder the 3 rebels who are traveling along. The queen has intel, she's figured out what's going on, and she's like, I'm not going to do it myself, I'd rather hire this woman to do it.
Assassin, heavy on sass.
Yes. We were thinking about making your character a little bit more like light show than we originally did. Like maybe the staff will get some LEDs in it. We're thinking about coordinating some lights on the like sparkles or something on the background for like some lasts. I think that could look really cool. So we're gonna figure that out with the lighting guy and make it kind of a production. The one thing I am changing Beth is going to be in this show, and she's going to be one of the Rebel Army members. She's going to play a traveler, so she might be seen traveling around because a big feeling that I really want to portray is that Lee and Thea and even Gasuto are traveling. They're going someplace, okay? So you're not necessarily right away in the Rebel headquarters. That's not necessarily right outside the palace gates. So you're going to these different places looking to build an army. And I want to get that feeling of like, let's go. And the sorceress is just someone, who they encounter along the way. And the traveler is what's going to be the caveat. Like you'll have them kind of bound by a spell, and Beth's character will come along and be like, "Hiya," or whatever. And that will be kind of how that happens for her. I'm going to have the test subjects come out. Tina, Court, Brianna. Yes, who else was I going to have? I was going to have someone else be one, but I need to like sit down and figure that out, so we'll have a lucky subject at some point. You'll just see. The dancing for test subjects is not challenging, but it's really creepy because your face is going to be completely hidden. And you're going to be, like, chemicals are going to be tested out on you. And that's kind of sad. Congratulations, lab. Did I skip anyone?
Brianna's probably going to be the creepiest, though.
We'll just see.
She's a child. She's a little kid that's getting tested on.
I know.
But also you can't
It sounds fun though, playing that.
It's just a very small person.
Did I skip any character or miss anything? No. Okay. Scooch out.
I mean, you can go back to King Penta if you want.
We will. Okay, so now I want to go through the storyline. So everyone just take a nice deep breath, shake it out. We're going to shift gears a little bit. Everyone, we're going to sit up against here, and I'm going to have King Kenta, Queen Aki, May, Thea, and Bishamontan stand along here and face us. So stand out there and face us. Everyone else come here like an audience.
Oh my god.
After you and I?
I said that my mom was like,
Quiet on the set! Guys, we're only going to take a moment on each storyline piece, but please don't talk over me. Don't whisper under me. Let's all focus on this right now. So, this is how we open the show. The song is Cold Out There. It's all in the lineup, but I'm going to take you through it right now so you can get a feeling for it. You guys can feel free to get into it as well and start playing with some faces. Whatever feels right. This starts us out. We're thinking about doing it in front of the curtain. And Bishamontan kind of, you're almost like a puppeteer here. Like you're gonna like stand above someone and like wait for them to start moving. And you'll kind of be above them, but like maybe, you know what I mean? It's like that. This introduces our characters. And hold your snack. It's what? Lazy Kingston Vince. Okay. I feel like it's a character though. And I am taking out the speaking. Not because of your accent. I was going to take it out
Spanish, that would be great.
Wouldn't fit. But your characters will be introduced here, and you're going to really have to show some face and miming. And Bishamontan's just going to kind of be the lord above that.
It's going to be walking.
Just walking right on. What did you ask? They can't see you, no. They're reactive to you. Bishamontan off, you four stay on. Next song. This is new. I'm taking the hook. I'm taking 2 songs out of this show we did originally and comprising them into one song, Rising by Some Luck. So this is going to be brand new for all of us. And it's going to be a little more epic. I have the 4. I have Siham, High, Lab, Brass, Talus, Charges, Lower Intern, Slave Children, and the Priestess. So get on up there. Quiet on the set. Everybody.
What do you do?
This, okay, quiet on the set, please. This song and this piece is like a big big introduction to the palace and the setting there. Okay? It has an epic feel. We're gonna start with Queen Aki up on a pedestal, and she's gonna walk down some people's backs to get downstairs. Okay? So we're gonna get to see the little kids and who they are, and what the interns are doing. We're gonna get to see that you hate your job. We're gonna get to see that you two have some contact and connection that maybe she's not paying attention to. We're gonna see that you are standing like at the ready to do whatever you need to do. The adults will have more of a lead in some of their movement, but you're not necessarily there to babysit either. FYI. Lab, you're gonna be like shaking around something glowing probably. You know, just kind of like every person you eyeball is a potential for scientific discovery. You two get in the bed here. There's a little bit of tension. All right, guys, I know it's so hard to not talk, but please do not. I think that I'm also going to have the priestess in this, and I think that she's going to be removing her blessing from the palace, and she's going to leave angry. I think that should be kind of an interesting little twist to add. The removing of the blessing shows like how damned this place really is. Or how judgmental she is. Yes. Next song, the Queen Aki solo. So everybody leave except for Queen Aki. I changed it to a different Sia song. It's no longer
fits better.
quiet. If you're quiet, you'll hear it.
Look at me, I'm
See that deep feeling? It's a little heavier than chandeliers. Less fun.
you wrapped in cellophane, waiting on
It
your
has like that
doorstep
crackle and burn that Queen Aki is delivering, and you'll be looking at the audience and staring them down.
filled with
About halfway through,
patience
King
is your
Kento will come in,
virtue,
so go ahead,
saying
and you guys will have a duet. And this will be kind of like one of those loveless marriages, like you're kind of here together, you're kind of friends, you're dancing, but at the same time you just really don't care about each other all that much either. You know, you're just kind of here in this situation together. Notes about this. Originally we had like C-Hom and High on and off stage. I may still do some of that. I just haven't fully decided where I'm placing it, and it's very transitional stuff. Won't take us a long time to practice it. You two stay on. The next scene that is the same is fun. It's this big palace party scene. I'm no longer doing the same exciting upbeat piece where the charges get invited to the party. I don't think it needs to be said. So instead of saying, hey, we're inviting everybody with invitations, there's a party, here we are.
You're going because the king said so.
Exactly. It's his party, really. The queen's just kind of like, I'll allow it, but the king is the one, it's his party, and it always has been. C-Hum, High, Brass, Palace Charges, May, and Lab. I also have lower interns on here, but don't plan on staying the whole night. Yeah, go ahead. I like this song because it's like upbeat and heavy and exciting.
I like this more.
It's also got like a deep bass that I feel like sets the tone for any party that would actually be happening.
I love this song so much.
Yeah, I know. There's gonna be a lot of dancing with the king. Maybe it's fun, but maybe you're just doing it because you have to do it. Yeah, and you also, of course, all parties start out with a salute to the queen, which you can get used to showing here. It's like a double salute. We took a little twist on it. So everyone's gonna have to get good at the double salute.
I don't do it because it's...
And of course, if you have a weapon in hand, you just do one, but you still have that same like attitude and fierceness of two. The party has a few highlighted moments, like where the king and C-Hum will dance. Excuse me. The king and C-Hum do dance together. The queen and the king dance together. The group dances with the king. The inner circle of the palace dances together.